So welcome back to another video, and today we have a very special guest because this is the 2021 Aprilia Tuono 660, and I have been a little bit harsh to Aprilia in the past because they have been using the term street bike for the Tuono, and let's just face it, this has nothing to do with a street bike, but finally they have, what can I say, created a new term called sports naked or naked sport. I have always said that the Tuono is a semi-sport bike because a street bike is not just a sports bike where you remove some plastic and then put a one-piece handlebar on it. A street bike is more like a powerful engine from a sports bike in a new frame with a new design, totally new design. But finally Aprilia has said that this is a naked sports bike, and I am actually pretty glad that they have done that by now, because now I can review this bike as a naked sports bike and not a street bike. Let's go. So the Tuono 660 is the, what can I say, the younger brother or sister to the RS 660. And that bike is completely beautiful, and I love everything about that bike. And I must say, this Tuono 660 is also very handsome. I love the color scheme on this Tuono. The RS color schemes are a little bit, but this one, classic, I like it. So what is actually special about this bike besides it's a naked sports bike? And that is actually the weight effect balance, because this is a 100 horsepower bike with only 183 kilos. So it is a pretty powerful 600 cubic model. So the engine is a parallel twin, and I would have wished that even though it is a 660 cubic engine, I would have wished it was a V2 engine like the bigger brother, which is a V4, but they have chosen to go with the parallel twin engine, so it only produces 94 pound-feet of torque, and that is around 66 Newton meters. But the nice thing about this bike, as I've been told because I haven't tried it yet, it is that the wheelbase is pretty short for bikes like this, so the agility of the bike should be insane. So that is actually the thing that I am looking most forward to try, is how it actually handles, because that is a thing that should take this Tuono 660 away from the RS 660. The handling should be much more awesome and street feel like, and you know what I mean. But another thing that I am looking really much forward to, especially with this engine, is the new Touareg 660 that is coming next year. So it's going to be nice to see how the engine actually performs in a sports bike, naked sport, and then a off-road motorcycle. Because it is a naked sports bike, it comes with an aerodynamic design, and then it's also fully adjustable in the right side of the front suspension. Aprilia is also getting a lot of compliments about their TFT display, and if you come a little bit closer, let's take a look at it. So let's fire up this Tuono 660 to have a look at their TFT display. So insert your personal code. We are not going to do that because we haven't, what can I say, created one yet, so we are just going to wait till it is off. So the first thing we are going to look at, if you look here, it says A. We can switch between A and B, and that is just different informations about the average fuel, our odometer, of course, the trip, the time, the max speed, and so on. And if we are pressing the button over on the other side of the handlebar, you can see we are switching in between the ride modes. Here we have dynamic, individual, commute, and back to dynamic. That is the first three rider modes we have. And if I hold the rider modes button in, I have the possibility to change the different parameters in each of the rider modes. So we can change the map, the engine brake, the traction control, and ABS, and so on. But if we are going back to the main setup here and go to the menu, you can see here we have some different possibilities to choose, but I'm going into vehicle and mode. And here we can change into the race mode. You can now see it says challenge mode, and then we have also a time attack mode. I'm just gonna show you how it looks right there, time attack mode. And like in the 3 normal rider modes, we have the possibilities to change everything that we want inside of each rider mode. So the display mode is set to auto because we are inside now. So the display is going to be dark, and as soon we go out, it is going to change to the lighter display as well. And we can also change the units of this TFT display if we want to go to miles per hour or kilometers per hour, as we do here in Europe. So that was just a little bit about the TFT display. There are a lot of things to change through the TFT display, and I do think it looks pretty awesome. And I think we have a nice and convenient look. We have the temperature over here. We have the fuel meter here. We have our speedometer in the middle. We can see our gears. We can see the time. We can see the temperature. Everything we need is placed, what can I say, in a convenient place. So the Tuono 660 is coming at a price point at 11,300, I think, and it is in the more, what can I say, higher end of the price tag for bikes like this, because the, what can I say, the competitors of this bike is, for example, the Triumph Trident 660, because that has a quite lower price tag than this Tuono 660, but I haven't tried the Trident yet, so I can't tell you what the difference is only by looking at the specs. So, but around $11,000 you are going to spend if you are going to buy a Tuono 660. So let's not ramble anymore about this bike. Let's just gear up and get out on the street and have the first ride. So we are finally out on the Aprilia Tuono 660. And the first thing we have to do is stopping for a red light. So I have really been looking forward to try out this 660 from Aprilia. So let's just talk about the first thing that differentiates this from the RS 660, and that is the seating position. I am not completely upright, as I shouldn't be, because it is a naked sports bike, so it shouldn't be fully upright. That would just be so weird. But I am a little bit more upright. I actually like the seating position. I am not fully tucked up with my knees. I have a semi-open knee position, I would say. So yes, it is a more touring friendly RS 660 seating position we have. So let's just give that a check. Even though I haven't been riding this that long, I can really feel that the wheelbase is short. I can really tell immediately on how this bike rides. So right now we are in the commute rider mode, and I really want to see if I can change the rider mode while riding. I could dynamic and individual. So it is possible to change the different modes that we have, commute, dynamic and individual, but it is not accessible to go into the menu while riding, and that is pretty smart, because if it's possible, people would do it. So I do like that they have disassembly that feature. So if you want to go to race or track mode, you have to hold still to do it, and that is actually okay. Okay, there's, whoa, holy moly, it is agile. Oh my god. I think I just have to warm up the tires a little bit more. So if you are a person who likes the, what can I say, the track feeling bike, the super sports, but you still wanna have some
nice seating position. I do think this is one of the best opportunities there is, because it is a sports bike with better ergonomics. Let's just face it, that is what this Tuono 660 is. It is a sports bike with much better ergonomics. It really is. So if we are going to talk about the wind pressure while riding, you can really tell that it has a ergonomic design with all the fairings, because I can nearly not feel any wind pressure. Even though I'm riding 110 kilometers per hour, I can't feel anything. I can feel it on my arms, but on my chest and on my helmet, I can't feel anything. And that is a huge plus, and that is the benefit of sports bike. It is that you can feel the wind pressure while riding. And even though this is a naked sport, so you could say that they have compromised something, but when it comes to wind pressure, I can't feel anything different. So I guess that is a huge plus. A nice feature about, even though it is a middle class motorcycle, it does come with Pirelli's Diablo Rosso tires. And it is top shelf tires. It really is. It is top notch tires. So now when we get off the highway, I will try to set this bike in race mode. So I am just going to hold in front of this truck. Bang. So as you can see here, I just press the right arrow to go into the menu and then choose vehicle, and then one more press, it gets red, and then I can choose between road and race. And let's just go back. So now we are in the challenge mode. It does tell me now that the rear ABS is off. Right now just checking if there are any cars, and let's go. Okay, so let's see. Nice. A really nice power delivery. It's not jumpy, it's not snappy or anything. The torque, the power is coming in a smooth line. That is a huge plus on a bike like this. I actually think that was a nice experience. You didn't have any jumps or anything like that. It was just a pure smooth experience. So let's see how agile it really is. Oof. Awesome. So even though it is a little bike, it's kind of fun. Small bikes can be fun as well because of the short wheelbase, as this Tuono 660 has. It's just a much more lighter bike. It is 183 kilos and you can feel it. So it doesn't matter of the specs and how big the engine is. When we are in the middle class of bikes like this, it's all about the feeling. It's not about the top specs. It is how does it ride? And this Tuono 660 rides hell of fun. Yes, you can feel it doesn't have the most powerful, torquey feeling. It does have a very smooth power delivery. The throttle response is very awesome. And it's just an awesome bike to ride. And if you're not into a full sports bike where you're cramped up with your face down, with your belly to the tank, then you actually have the possibilities to choose a Tuono instead of the RS. That is a nice thing that Aprilia has done. I do think that. And now when they haven't called this a street bike, I do think the Tuono finally find its own place. So if I am going to say 3 things about this Tuono 660, it is the first thing is actually the power delivery. I think the power delivery is amazing. Smooth and controlled, even though I'm in challenge mode. Number 2 is the design. It's a naked sports bike, but I like the design. I like the color scheme. I do think Aprilia has some amazing lines in their design. And the third thing is, of course, their customization possibilities, even though it is a middle class bike. It is a 660 engine in the middle of the price range, and you have fully customization abilities like you have on a very expensive Tuono V4. So that would be my top 3 things that I like about this bike. So folks, that was everything I had for you today. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you aren't already, and if you're new, welcome to the channel. Woohoo! See you in the next one, and it is going to be soon. See ya.